What I've got here is two different size caps. When I went to the electronics store the other night, last night in fact, I got the exact replacement and they didn't have a second one. So I grabbed one, let's see, this one's 4700 microfarad at 35 volts. That's the stock replacement. This one is 6800 microfarads. So since it's used as a filter cap, you know, more is better and it's okay. So, but it's physically bigger in diameter. I was worried it was going to get in the way of the fan, but when I assembled it in the chassis, it's fine. So let's see what's left to do here. This one's still missing a FET here. There's a dead one here. It's a, oh man, 8. Okay, I'm not even going to pretend anymore. Phew. 18N50 by Fairchild. So it's 18 amp, 500 amp, 500 volt FET, and that, it's funny, out of the 3 grid tie inverters that I got, there was one bad FET only. That's a little wild at this point in the game. The funny thing about these two is they'll run off the power supply, the regulated supply, but they won't run off the battery. And this battery's fully charged. It's at 13 volts. It's fresh. Another YouTuber, Freethinker, he brought his power supply voltage up until they turned on, and he says they don't turn on until 14. And sure as heck, on the back here, that's also what it says, 14 to 28 volts. Excuse me again. So what I may have to do is maybe just grab a D-cell or something and put it in series to use it with the battery. I don't have any 6-volt batteries around. So anyway, I'll figure that out. But it works fine on the bench. I just can't shoot a video of it, otherwise I got to move everything down. So anyway, this one still needs the AC fuse. It's got a piece of 32 gauge wire given to me by my grandfather in the 70s. Still use it to this day. It's rated for ½ an amp, so it would pop a lot easier. I just put it in here to, I doubt you guys can see it, but right there. It's just a single strand, it's tiny. I could use some 26 gauge and get a couple amps, but the whole point was just to turn the thing on. I'm not going to try and do any grid tie work with it until I can get these LEDs to show that they're syncing with the 60 hertz in line. So anyway, this one just needs that fuse. I got to find out where to get them. They say they're AC fuses, but I'm not so sure. But I don't know. I haven't buzzed this out. Anyway, Freethinker also came up with the difference between power jack inverters and the Sun brand, and there really isn't a difference. They're just two different lines, and these are both Suns, but this one's got the caps and this one doesn't. I don't think somebody had gotten into these before me, but that's just how they came. So I don't know. Don't know how this is going to play out. These are not the most expensive in the world. It shows that they're using brand name parts, but when you get brand name parts out of China, a lot of times they're fake. The other thing I did here was I ran silicone. I just had a small tube of clear bathroom silicone, and I ran it across both of these. Oh, yeah. Oh, well, that one's a little loose. That's still at least captured. You know, it won't go anywhere because that's the one that busted off. And these are actually mounted in a little plastic stand, soldered in with 6 pins, and those are rock solid. So their failure rate, they found out the hard way, being cheap, probably cost them a ton of money. So anyway, flexible. Yeah, this one's completely inflexible. But yeah, so that's it. AC fuse, and then I'll pull up the 500 watt guy and see what I can get done with it. It's doing the same thing. It won't turn on under certain. Actually, it won't turn on the power supply over there either. So that tip 41, I've got to test it and make sure it's okay. So anyway, that's the last update probably for today. I would like to get these together. I think this one is completely ready, but my philosophy when you're troubleshooting something you haven't done before is the one that works. You always get one working if you can. Leave it open because I may have to reference a voltage or a resistance or something on here. So I think I'll leave them out of the package for right now, although I have to get them out of the way for the 500 watt one. And then later in the week I've got some huge inverters. I got a couple 3 kilowatt and a 1700 watt, and they'll take up every square inch of this place. I'll probably have to move my spot welder and everything out of the way. But I wanted to get the practice on these. I've done a lot of motor controls over the years, hundreds of them, hundreds and hundreds. So this is a similar circuit, so it wasn't terribly hard to figure out. And I got to give credit to the guys on YouTube for looking into these too, so it helps me understand what we're all doing. So yeah, I'll probably just sell these. I don't really need them. It'd be fun to experiment with them and learn about them. I really want to see if I can sync these grid ties up with pure sine non-grid. There's a couple guys who've done it on video and nothing blew up. It makes sense. This can either sync with another inverter or it can sync with the utility company. I don't think it knows or cares as long as it's syncing to something that's reliable. So that could be useful out in the field. It really could. Alright. Talk to you later. Alright, so sorry I always start out that way. Alright, so what happened is I just got some parts in and I got the FET on that other one. These won't start off this battery, and this battery's at 13 volts. So it'll hunt. I don't know if you can see it. I'm trying to make sure you can, but it's hunting. It's not going sequentially. So I thought, well, let's bump the voltage a bit. So I grabbed this D cell and hook it on there, and sure as heck, it syncs up with the 120 volts just fine. So apparently this 13.0 volt battery needs to be brought up higher, and I don't know how much higher. 13, 14 and a half, we'll see. So that one works, and so does the other one. So they are repaired. Each one got a new cap, one got a new FET, and one got a new fuse. So it wasn't horrible. Wasn't horrible. So that takes care of the. These are the 250 watt Suns, 250Gs. They're slightly different, but you know, power jack Suns are pretty much all the same. So next I got to go hook these up and start pumping some power into my grid here. So now one thing I've learned with these units is after you unplug them, the capacitor holds a charge for a while and keeps the circuit at very high voltage, because I've grabbed this board across these two FETs and it shocked the daylights out of me. I checked it with my meter and it was 250 volts DC. So lesson learned there. So I soldered up a light bulb, and I use it for discharging. So that'll keep me from getting blasted into the twilight zone. Yeah, it was real painful, man. It's low current. You know, it's not gonna give me a heart attack or anything, but I was a little bit shocked. Anyway, so I'm gonna go put these in the box and figure out what to do next with them. But I got plenty more, and another one coming in the mail today.